Welcome back to NutriNerd RX, where science meets realistic weight loss. And today, we're going to learn how to properly assess our calorie needs better than any online calculator you can find. This method tailors itself not only to your activity levels and genetics, but also your inherent food logging errors, and it adjusts as you lose weight. The entire method is baked into a Google Sheet that is available in the description. Stick to the end, and I'll show you how it works. So, think of calories in minus calories out equals weight change as the mass I am consuming minus the mass I am converting to movement equals the amount of body mass I need to part with. We just use the word calories to describe and measure this transfer of mass to movement, and we have tools that help us do so. But some of these tools suck and they mislead you, making some people question the first law of thermodynamics, when we really just need a different approach to the type of tools that we use and how we use them. Let's start with the worst offender, tools that measure calories out. To estimate your calories out, many online calculators use the Harris-Benedict equation with an activity modifier. First, the Harris-Benedict equation is used to estimate your basal metabolic rate, which is your BMR. This is your involuntary movement like your heartbeat. It really just provides a quick, approximate calculation, which is useful but inherently limited, since it doesn't take into account your genetic differences, resulting in a 10% margin of error, which is not provided in most calculators. Plus, the categories that are often used to apply the activity modifier, which is how much you think you move in a day, are pretty subjective. I mean, even I struggle knowing which category I fit into. What one person considers light exercise might be different from somebody else. Let me show you how much this can matter with a made-up person called Jean. Jean provides her info that she's a 5'4" 30-year-old female that weighs 185 pounds. And being a little unsure, she selects the light activity category. With this pitiful amount of data, the calculator tells Jean that her maintenance calories are 2100 and she should consume 1600 calories a day to lose 1 pound. That's very specific with limited information. If we go back and factor in the margin of error for her BMR range and factor in Jean's uncertainty to her activity level, her weight loss range could be anywhere between 1200 to 1800 calories a day. That's insane. But maybe you don't use a calculator, and instead you use a smartwatch to track your calories burned. Studies show that these devices are typically off 24 to 94%, often overestimating their calories burned. And so if Jean used a smartwatch that said she burned 1800 calories, it's likely closer to 1500, and that's on the safe side. She might try to eat 1500 calories to lose weight, but she won't. And so, what the heck do we do? The problem is that we're often centering our plan around an estimate that has a very large variation and working everything else around it. The solution is simple. Shift the focus to the two most accurate and personalized measurements, your body weight changes and how you track calories. Let me show you. We start with our change in weight from week to week because this represents our change in mass from week to week. But the change in our weight isn't just our change in fat and muscle. It's also mucked up by our change in water weight and stomach contents, which we don't care about. To reduce this noise, we convert weight into something called weight trend. Weight trend does an excellent job removing a weight loss graph's spikes and dips from water weight and stomach contents to better reveal changes in fat and muscle mass. This is a real example. If you want to learn how it works, watch this video. So, using weight trend, we get our change in mass for the next 2 weeks. This change in mass is key because it not only represents your calories in and calories out, but baked in are the effects that your genetics and epigenetics had on the calories in and calories out, because it's your change. From here, we convert the change in weight to change in calories. 1 pound is about 3,500 calories. Yes, you can misuse this conversion, but for this purpose, it works extremely well. If over 2 weeks, Jean lost 1.5 pounds according to her weight trend, that's about 5,250 calories, meaning she lost about 250 calories worth of mass a day. Now let's compare that to her calorie intake. Jean reported that over the last 2 weeks, she had 11 days worth of complete food logging. That's okay, this will work just fine if you miss a few days. We add up the calories from her complete days only and divide by the number of total complete days only. Jean on average consumed about 1600 calories a day. We now know that when Jean logs 1600 calories at her current level of daily activity, she loses 250 calories of weight, or she's in a 250 calorie deficit. But what if Jean's food logging is off? Well, if Jean is trying to accurately count her calories, we don't really care if it's off by that 4 or 5%. That's because when we unknowingly make food logging errors, we do so consistently. Gene logs 1600 gene calories. I don't care how many it really is. All I care about is understanding how many gene calories it takes for Gene's weight to move. And now that we know, we can use it to give Gene a range of calories that represent different speeds of weight loss, all specific to her. But this is based on Gene's movement staying relatively consistent. Because what happens if her movement or calories out really fluctuate from week to week? Well, we have an excellent tool for that. It's called your steps. Steps are an excellent, free, non-invasive way to track your overall movement, and you're going to use it as the final piece of the puzzle to optimize your weight loss plan. If Gene tracked her steps, she would see that on average she's getting 2,000 steps a day. And just like calories, I don't care if this is her exact step count, and I don't care how many exact calories this means she burned. What I love is that I have a measurement that represents her daily movement, and it's going to go up and down as her daily movement goes up and down. And it includes not just cardio, but her non-cardio movement like walking, chores, work environment. So Gene can look at her weight loss table and decide maybe she wants to eat more calories to lose 1 pound a week. So instead of eating less calories, she's just going to increase her average daily step count to 10,000 steps and see how close she gets. If she's a little bit off next week, she's going to find out and adjust again. Very quickly, you're going to learn how changes in your steps affect your weight and how changes in your calorie intake affect your weight. The beauty of this approach is that it gives you flexibility. You do have to practice a little patience up front, but that's because we're taking the time to optimize the approach to you. Don't worry about doing all of this math yourself. There's a link to a Google Sheet in the description that will handle everything for you. On the left, just put in your daily weigh-ins along with your calorie intake and your daily steps from any tracking app. It will calculate weight trend, and then your 2-week summary is updated in real time on the right. From this summary, you can see your daily average calorie deficit when you eat this many calories a day, walking this many steps. By keeping steps relatively constant, you can then see how many calories you need to eat to achieve different levels of weight loss, weight maintenance, or weight gain. The green box highlights the range to lose between 1/2 to 1 pound a week, and the red box highlights the range to gain 1/2 to 1 pound a week. As always, I think it's best to work in calorie ranges so you have flexibility from day to day. But you can pick any range you want. If you don't want to eat less but achieve a higher level of weight loss, keep calories constant and just work on increasing your steps. The information updates in real time because as we lose weight and change our lifestyle, our calorie needs slowly shift as well. Fat cells are living, breathing tissue. When we lose them, we burn less calories. Not only that, but being in a calorie deficit does change the way that steps represent our overall movement over time. But these shifts happen very slowly. So by updating in real time, you stay on top of it and you don't really notice. This will prevent weight loss plateaus that often come from using the same calorie range for months at a time. If you're following the calorie range, but you still feel hungry, that's where satiety comes into play. It's not just about calories, but how you build your meals to affect how full you feel. To learn more about how to make any diet more filling, check out this video. When it comes to calorie needs, it's all about centering it around you. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.